So welcome back, and today we're going to study a silver alert. The price of silver rise and Bitcoin. It's really interesting that if you see the price of silver in the physical market, this is the price, and a tweet right here, and a tweet from Algomoneyfest. And it happened that American silver eagle price was 38 US dollars per coin. And if the price and the spot price was around $20, so we have a 90% premium over spot. This means that the market was extremely hot in the physical silver market, and it was right. There was some I was making fun because last month you have the SLB border rates going higher and the price of SLB going down. And now we are seeing a different scenario. We are seeing that strength in the support levels, and they are refusing to go lower. So we have the 19 US dollar per ounce for silver, and if you see the price of silver had a very interesting candle today, pressing higher, a very important, canceling all the bearish momentum here. And the level of silver 21 from historical point of view is quite low, and they failed to break the price of gold around 1600. And you see, this is a very important resistance in the area in the year of 2016 and 2013, and silver is fighting there. So we will see the test next week. A very important asset here is the price of rice. The price of rice is showing the same level. The price of rice is around the level of August of 2011, and it was in the same area. This is the same area where the price of silver was in its record high in 2011. So the price of food has been going up, even though the Federal Reserve was moving the interest rates first 4% in March of 2022. That was the level that the market was expecting, and now market is discounting a 5% by the next year. So even that happened, even we are seeing a massive tightening and the potential for a global recession, the prices of food are continuously pressing higher and higher and higher. And you see that the price of rice, that's the most interesting chart, there is nothing between these levels and a massive explosion for the prices of rice. So this is very important because the price of rice from historical point of view is at levels not seen in the long term, and the highs that were possible only with record highs for the price of silver. This is the price of rice is at the same level where there was a record high in the price of silver, around 48 per ounce. Bitcoin has cancelled its third asset. We were expecting a South Sea pattern bubble and a potential crash. Bitcoin was dead for 3 months, completely dead for 3 months, doing nothing. And now it's giving 2 consecutive months going high and escaping for a very deadly pattern that we were in the past. So in my case, I believe we may see a recovery of the price of Bitcoin. The most interesting thing that Bitcoin has here in this chart is there is not real demand or supply between 24 and 40 level. There is nothing there. So if Bitcoin manages to hold these gains, it will be an explosion for Bitcoin in the next 2 years. I believe that if we keep a bullish case, we should see Bitcoin around 40k by 2024, assuming that we have a bullish case. So far, the case is very possible for now. What the Federal Reserve is doing now, with record high levels of fiscal deficits, fiscal debt, that all these higher interest rates will mean more pressure for the fiscal spending, and they will add more interest expenses to their balance sheets. That's, this is like a snowball effect. So Argentina did the same strategy. They tried to control from the central bank on the level of crazy fiscal deficit, and they managed in the previous administration to control that for a very short time, and then boom, exploding again. This is the level of the central bank rate, and you see that we have an impulse in the area of 40%. We went down, they controlled inflation, and then exploded, and then it went down, and now we have a level of 75% interest rate at our central bank. And you see the same pattern with the inflation and waves, and they try to inflation going down, higher interest rate going down, and boom, explosion. Because this is like snowing, inflation counter rallies and then counter attack. Now the level of inflation is heading around 100% by now. So this chart continues. You see that we are going to see 100% inflation in Argentina. So the same thing is happening. The market believes that the level of debt in the United States is too high. So as soon as they keep increasing the interest rates, this will add more and more problems for the long term. At the same time, you can see that some politicians in the West are fighting a war and producing a war, and also altering the food supplies, and all this stuff, geopolitical stuff, are adding more risk factors to the prices of commodities and the levels of global inflation. It's like they really are not ready to fight. They should be fighting for global peace and stability in the world food supply. So far we have been reading policies in Europe that there are some government attempts to alter the food supply there. So there are food concerns about the food stability and the food prices. We have prepared a video about that. So this is the consultant levels believe that Argentina will end the year in 100%, and the wave of stop the inflation from a central bank while having a government with very unsustainable levels of spending in Argentina created waves of inflation and temporary reduction of inflation and counterattacks by the level of inflation. This is what is happening now in the United States, and this could shake the world monetary system in the next years. This is the main risk now, a very important risk that will threaten the world monetary systems and world financial systems, and may create a world reset, as some have been talking and discussing in the academics cycles. So the risk is that they may attack the price of Bitcoin and ban it from the circulation between the crypto markets and replaced by central bank digital currencies. So will the Fed control inflation? Yes, they could increase the level of interest rates about 5%, maybe 7%, and that will create extreme crisis. That's a risk. The price now to control inflation is a hard landing and a world global recession. That's a risk. And this is combined with the potential food crisis for the next few years. And we are starting to see that Saudi Arabia and other countries are not cooperating in sending down the price of crude oil. Maybe because they want to hedge their wealth against the spending in the United States. Also, we are seeing some alignments in the monetary geopolitics related to the BRICS countries and the idea of creating a new financial system, a cryptocurrency backed by gold, or Russian ruble backed by gold being discussed in Moscow and in academic and economic circles. So there is three important risks. One is the risk of increasing interest rates and rate hikes about 5%. The market is now pricing a potential 5%. So the Federal, if they are not succeeding there, they will continue pushing higher. And that will create a global recession. And we may see a war, more war news in the Eastern Europe. And the final factor is a food crisis, because there are levels of droughts everywhere. Argentina, Mississippi River, Euphrates River, Yangtze River in China. There are reports of a potential food crisis that will make explode the prices of food between next year and the 2024. And we are now receiving a real hint in the price of rice. So the risk is extremely high for the next year and will be very volatile. We have a very important deflationary tool that will be interest rates about 5%, and the next thing that we should see is maybe the resumption of war in the Eastern Europe as soon as the winter ends in Europe. The third factor is a food crisis. So this is an impressive risk that we are seeing, and they will add strength. So we have the three assets, and should we keep this inflationary scenario, so far so good, the price of Bitcoin could go all the way back to 40k in the next 2 years. The volatility will be increasing. So that's the update. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.